Hello boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to what has already become quite a bad Italian Grand Prix for me, as I've spilt my drink before the race even started. So, Alonso's on pole position, Ralf Schumacher's currently in second place, but we still have 57 minutes to go in the Italian Grand Prix at the world famous Monza circuit. Little bit of story to tell you. The BAR have swapped their drivers for some unknown reason, and because of the rules, Burti now has Mazzaccane's points and car and everything else. So Heinz old Frentzen currently on pole position, Raikkonen second, Alonso third, Ralf Schumacher fourth, Alesi fifth, Mazzacane sixth, Burti seventh, Takagi eighth, ninth, Young 10th. Fisichella has just taken pole position on his home Grand Prix, but there's still an awful long way to go. Still got half an hour left. De La Rosa pole, but all the top drivers still have quite a few laps to go. They might have it up to 2 laps, maybe 1 lap left. A lot of the drivers have come out though and burned. De La Rosa, Frentzen don't improve. Fisichella's gone out and not improved. Only Diniz has a realistic chance of doing something, and he's not improved. He's done exactly the same lap time as Burti. So we have De La Rosa on pole, Fisichella second, Frentzen third, Webber fourth, Burti fifth, Diniz sixth, Raikkonen seventh, Schumacher eighth, Alonso ninth, Alesi 10th, Mazzacane 11th, Montoya 12th, Coulthard 13th. And he's not improved his lap time. Coulthard 13th. 14th is Takagi, 15th Young, 16th Schumacher, 17th Hakkinen, 18th Hill, 19th Button, 20th is Rubens Barrichello, as we go onto the track for the Italian Grand Prix Season 5. Last season we had a rerun of the race after I commentated the race. It was an alright race, but I had to re-commentate it because few technical glitches happened. So Coulthard didn't win that race. I can't remember who won that race, but that's in the past now. We're only bothered about the present, as the 20 cars are all lined up ready for those 5 lights to go green, and it is a stagnated start between the top 4. Fisichella's got a fantastic drive though, and has just overtaken De La Rosa for the lead. Webber looks like he's about to overtake Frentzen. Oh, a little bit of contact there. They've gotten through that corner though. A little bit of contact there between Webber and Frentzen. Burti is in 5th for the BAR. 6th Diniz. 7th Raikkonen. 8th Schumacher, 9th Alonso, 10th Montoya, 11th Alesi, 12th Mazzacane, 13th Takagi, 14th Young, 15th Schumacher, 16th Hakkinen, 17th Hill, 18th Barrichello, 19th Hill, 20th Hill. Oh no, 19th, because we're about to see David Coulthard not to get off of the line. Coulthard with a bunch of neutrals is out of the race. It becomes the first retirement for the McLaren team. Fisichella though, storming through towards the La Raggier chicane. Say left, right chicane down towards the Lesmos for the first of 24 times. Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. De La Rosa second place at the moment. There's Lesmo 2 down the back straight. It's a very fast circuit this. Webber third, slowly losing a little bit of time, but nothing biggie. Towards Ascari, heavy braking. And then right, left. down towards the back straight towards the world famous Parabolica. Turn 11. Braking heavily down to gear 1. Wide lines throughout and up through the gears towards the back, the pit straight. Lots of slipstream you could expect. I've already got a 1.5 second lead over Burti. Burti dropping a little bit here. Frenson having a little look down the inside. Fisichella also look. The De La Rosa looking down the inside of Fisichella as well. Burti being overtaken by Diniz. Diniz up into 5th place, and now he can chase after the top drivers. Burti is 6th. Raikkonen 7th and Schumacher 8th for the Arrows. The final points. Alonso 9th, Montoya 10th for the 2 Toyotas. Through the De La Rozier chicane. Lazy 11th. Struggling to you can't really accelerate on the curb, Lazy. 12th Mazzacane, 13th Takagi, 14th Michael Schumacher, Young currently 15th for Minardi and 16th for Hakkinen. Button 17th, Hill 18th, Barrichello bringing up the rear but quite close towards the Jordans. As De La Rosa is putting pressure on Fisichella, down towards the back straight, down towards Parabolica, heavy braking. Can De La Rosa slip it down the inside of Fisichella? No, he closes the door slightly, does the Italian. Making sure that the Jaguar can overtake the top 3, have all pulled away a little bit over the rest of the field. Hear the roar of the engine, top 5. Burti, Raikkonen's overtaken, Ralph Schumacher, oh no they haven't. Burti's still... Although it looks like the Sauber getting very close to Burti, as Fisichella still has a lot of pressure on him. Bottom, the Jordan Hill has been overtaken by Barrichello for 18th for the Brazilian. Heavy braking towards the De La Rozier, and Montoya has a huge fire, and that is an absolute disaster. Who's that? The Mazzacane out. I think that was one of the Renaults has been hit as well. It was a Lazy. Mazzacane gets swapped cars, gets swapped to the worst car, and look what happens. That was a catastrophic engine failure for Montoya. He parks it in the most stupidest area, and the Lazy... Both Lazy and Mazzacane hit him, and Mazzacane out on the spot. It was enough. He's blinded completely. And there it is, and there goes Mazzacane as well. Too much damage put on the BAR, and he is out. Lazy has to do a whole lap. He's going to hold all these up, you'd have thought. A little bit of a gap. It's going to really affect him here. Renault ready. There's already a 6 second. It's going up to 7 seconds. The top, the 10th is 10th down is going to be absolutely mortified by what Lazy has done. Down the inside, Parabolica is Takagi. Michael Schumacher's past the Lazy. The Minardi struggling to pass. And maybe Takagi or Young. Lazy dies to the right. Or Takagi looking like he... Was that Takagi? Looking to the pits. Doesn't pit though. So... Lazy with a front wing change and a tyre change. He's going to lose around about 15 seconds. You'd have thought 9 seconds for a front wing change. That's actually quite good. He might be able to recover. Young with suspension damage becomes another retirement. There is Young. He looks like he's pretty much spun it at the Retifilio, there is a lazy Hill 15th. There's a huge gap. So it looks like they were held up slightly by Young. Because there's Button, there's Schumacher, there's Takagi. The whole field is now spread out by absolute big margins, and there's not a lot to talk about now. The top 9 have just all come away from everyone. But hello, De La Rosa looking down the inside of Fisichella, going down towards the Retifilio. Webber's done the fastest lap. Pedro De La Rosa looking down the inside. Little bit of contact. Kimi Raikkonen with the fastest lap. De La Rosa takes the lead from Fisichella after Fisichella goes on 2 wheels. Webber in 3rd for Sauber at the moment. All these cars don't really have to worry about being stuck in traffic because the traffic's gone. The traffic's just gone. The traffic's nowhere to be seen now because of the problems that have been caused. Webber 3rd, Frentzen still 4th. Still holding up, I believe, Raikkonen. No, it's Diniz is holding up at the moment. Up through gear 7 towards the Scar is a gear 1, 2 corner. Little bit of a lift. And you can just let full beans down the back straight towards Parabolica. For the 5th time, can Fisichella get a good run off of Parabolica to challenge De La Rosa? Not really. De La Rosa's pulling away slightly, but Fisichella's caught the slipstream and is now slowly catching up. 48 kilometers an hour. 1:32.9 fastest lap. Now top 3 accelerates again. Frentzen keeping a little close eye there in 4th. Diniz 5th. Raikkonen is in 6th. Burti's in 7th. Ralf Schumacher 8th. Alonso's 9th. And then we have Takagi 13 seconds back. That is a huge gap. There is Takagi. There's Michael Schumacher. Button's even further back, 10 seconds back now. Hakkinen and Barrichello and Hill, all 3 of them are close to each other. Lazy's 9 seconds down the road. Probably more risk of being lapped than anything else. But De La Rosa leads in the Jaguar, 2nd place. Fisichella, but for how much longer? Because Webber and Fisichella are looking rather feisty. End up being 3 wide rather quickly. Round Parabolica for the 6th time down the pit straight. This is where you want to sit, watching all the cars go by at 345 kilometers an hour. Diniz with the fastest lap. Diniz is side by side with Frentzen and has made the move stick on the German. Diniz is up to 4th. That's the 2nd car he has overtaken at the Retifilio. Good job by Diniz. He's made it 2 Jaguars in the top 4. 1 leads, 1 in 4th. But how much longer is De La Rosa going to lead for? Because Fisichella is right there. Webber 3rd. Fisichella 2nd. De La Rosa leads for Jaguar. Down to 1st. Down the straight towards the Ascari. Well, lap 7 out of 24. We expect the first pit stoppers to happen around about lap 8 through to 11 for the 2 stoppers. 1 stoppers, you could be expecting them to come in after lap 12. Accelerating now down towards the Parabolica. Perhaps the most famous of all the corners. All the corners are pretty famous. There's not many tracks where a lot of people know what all of the names of the corners. You're pretty much talking Silverstone and you're talking Monza with all of... Diniz is a man on the mission. He's already caught up to the back. Look at the gap between 5th and 6th. Burti has been overtaken by both Raikkonen and Ralf Schumacher now. As they accelerate down towards the Della Roggia chicane. Accelerating through towards Lesmo. Round Lesmo 1. Fisichella looking left, looking right, making sure his presence is known. But down. Towards Ascari now for the 8th time. As we're going to see the first rounds of pits happening. All top 5 all covered by one straight pretty much. Fisichella looking towards the inside. Absolutely nothing doing. Is he going to try and nick the slipstream of the Jaguar? No, he's not. The Jaguar is going into the pits. He's the first to blink. Pedro De La Rosa pits from the race lead. The Toyota is ready to go in as well. It's going to be for Alonso. We've got arrows ready. We've got Renault ready. You'd assume that's for Fisichella. I don't know who the arrow, which one of the arrows it's going to be. I'm presuming it will be Frentzen. Away goes De La Rosa. Is he going to be in front of Takagi? Accelerating towards Ascari. He is miles ahead. That is Mika Hakkinen grinding to a halt down towards Parabolica. Alesi has to take avoiding action. That could have been a catastrophic accident if he didn't. But Mika Hakkinen retires. He becomes the 5th retirement of the race. Even Alonso's miles ahead of a lot of the drivers. There is De La Rosa, who's 3 seconds ahead. So we've got Renault and Arrows and Sauber already in the pits. That's Raikkonen going into the pits as well. Frenson's going in, and so is the Renault of Giancarlo Fisichella. So Mark Webber is going to be our race leader for a little bit. In to the pits goes Fisichella. Mark Webber takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, but it looks like not going to be for long because, although maybe not, because the Sauber is getting ready for Raikkonen. That's Frentzen in. Ralf Schumacher's gone past, so does Burti. 10.2 second pit stop for the Renault. Is he going to come out in 5th? 5th for Fisichella. That is remarkable. And Frentzen is going to be racing. No, he's not. De La Rosa is ahead. Raikkonen, though, is going to be racing. No, he's not. Although, that was De La Rosa. Nothing to worry about. So, Frentzen comes out in 7th in the Arrows after his first stop. De La Rosa comes out in 6th. Fisichella comes out in 5th. They've all made their first stops. Jaguar ready in the pits. That's going to be for Diniz. Webber stays out for another lap. Diniz looking feisty against Mark Webber. Heavy braking towards Parabolica. Diniz probably not going to challenge Webber at the moment because Diniz is about to go into the pits. Webber stays out for another lap. That could be key. And they've got an 11-second lead over Ralf Schumacher in the Arrows, who's also staying out for another lap, but not going to matter too much. He's not really in this race. Ralf Schumacher, Burti both go across. Diniz is going to be miles ahead of Fisichella. Off the pit limiter, where is Fisichella? It's going to be quite close, to be honest. But I think Diniz is going to be ahead of Fisichella. It's going to be very slow as Diniz going through the first corner. Oh, he had to brake heavily there. But Diniz is ahead of Fisichella. The overcut working a treat there for the Jaguar. It's going to work an absolute dream though for Mark Webber in the Sauber. There's Ralf Schumacher. Sauber ready in the pits. That is for Mark Webber. Ralf Schumacher is in second. Down towards Parabolica. For the 11th time, we'll be halfway through at the end of the next lap. There's a 15-second lead over Ralf Schumacher at the moment. He's got quite a sizable advantage towards the German, who has won a race this season. No, Frenson's won a race, not Ralf Schumacher did win the race. The Season 2 champion. Change of all full tyres though on the Sauber. It was very slow on the front right. No pressure no from the tyre people. Burti crosses the finish line. And out in front of Ralf Schumacher goes Mark Webber. Where's he going to come out in relation to? Where are they? They've just gone past the start-finish line. That's how much of a lead Mark Webber has. Third Diniz, fourth Fisichella. Webber's gone. Webber is in second place. Burti leads. But he's on the one stop. He's on the alternative strategy compared to the rest of the top 7-8 cars. It might pay off for him. It might not. We shall see come end of the race. But we're on board with Fisichella. Diniz in front. De La Rosa in fifth. So far, so good for Jaguar. Michael Schumacher's in sixth place, but he is yet to stop. Frenson is in seventh and holding on to seventh, with Takagi eighth. Raikkonen ninth at the moment. Ralf Schumacher's in 10th. Trundle along with Alonso in 11th. Button's 12th at the moment. 13th Barrichello, but for how much longer as Hill tries to go down the inside. And Alesi is still in 15th, but is actually catching quite significantly. It's 5 seconds. And the list of shame of all the retirements. Both McLarens out of the race. Not a good day for them. Takagi's overtaken. It's Michael Schumacher that has pitted. Michael Schumacher, I believe, is pitted for Ferrari. It might have been Barrichello actually. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on anymore in this race, to be honest. Barrichello is the one that's pitted. Alesi is up into 14th. This is Lesmo 1. Run lap 13 out of 24. Round Lesmo 2. Down the straight. Is it the slipstream of Diniz has Fisichella. De La Rosa is in a Pedro sandwich. Fisichella down the inside. No, that guy is not really an overtaken spot. Get a good exit off of Parabolica. You can probably get him at the Rettifilio. Not Rettifilio's. The Rettifilio's the one in Imola, isn't it? I'm thinking of the Veran. I'm gonna have to search this. I've been calling it wrong this whole time. The Variante. I don't know. Don't care if Jordan's going into the pits. More pressing issues at the moment. Alright, cool. It's the Variante. The Retafilio. I did get it right. In turn 3 is the Variante della Roggier. But we just call it the della Roggier. Then we've got the Curva de Lesmos, which is just the Lesmos. Then we've got the Scari. Then we've got Parabolica. We've got Curva Grande. I forgot about that corner, to be honest. That's an actual corner. If you want to know what the turn is at the straight, it's called the Seraglio. No one's ever called it the Seraglio. The Vialone is the first corner into that Escari chicane, but everyone just calls it the Escari chicane because, you know, it's just the Escari chicane. So yeah, there you are. That is a rundown of what the circuit is. No one really cares, to be honest. I was right though on the corner names. Burti goes into the pits from the lead. They're ready with the fuel hose, ready to change all 4 tyres. Mazzacane sitting there watching Webber. That's the top 4 that's gone all past. Benson's lost a lot of time. There goes Frenson. Is he going to be overtaking Burti? I don't think he is. I think Burti is going to be ahead of Frenson. Burti's going to be incredibly slow going through the chicane. There's a bit of contact, a bit of debris. I don't think any damage has been done though to the drivers. That's a scare though for both Burti and Frenson. I can imagine Burti going over the radar saying, "He hit me, he hit me." On board with Fisichella now. 4. Let's move. 2. Diniz. Second place. Webber though, your race leader at the moment. But he's got a hungry pack behind him. Down. Diniz looked down the inside of Ascari. That's never going to happen. This is Ascari. I can't remember what the first... Everyone just calls it the Ascari chicane. I don't know why there's a corner before the Ascari chicane. Everyone just calls it the Ascari chicane. Down to Parabolica. Diniz nearly had a look down the inside of Webber. Fisichella's also looking rather racy. Fisichella's in Webber's problem. Webber couldn't really do much because second place was just fighting left, right, centre. And now Diniz has gone down the inside and Fisichella can't do anything. Top 4 now pretty much line stern. No one really making any overtaking attempts. Webber's in the strongest position with how he has pitted. This is turn 3, Curva Grande. Down towards the Della Roggia. The Variante della Roggia. Accelerating up to the Lesmos. Wish there was crowds here. Oh, there's crowds there. Hello. You'd have thought there'd be crowds around every single corner. They'd have crowds left, right, centre. They would try and pack all the crowds. This is a money business after all. They need to get the money. They're not going to get the money if they don't have the crowd everywhere. Jaguar already in the pit. Which Jaguar's pitting? Della Rosa? Gotta be Della Rosa's pitting. I don't think Diniz is going to be pitting just yet. Diniz is too busy looking down the inside of Mark Webber at Parabolica. There's been a little bit of contact between Diniz and Fisichella, I think. Nothing too major though. That is Della Rosa going into the pits. I mean, huge lead over the 5th place man, Harold Frenson. De La Rosa to his pit box. Change all 4 tyres. Frentzen goes past. Raikkonen's past. Burti's past. Alonso has just pitted, I believe. And Ralf Schumacher is about to come up to terms with De La Rosa. Lazy's back up into 9th. Oh, that's a little bit of contact there. Another more lost pieces of bodywork from the arrows. Both arrows hitting people on chicanes. In fact, worth mentioning, Burti's been overtaken by both Raikkonen and Frentzen. Down. Renault. Ready in the pits. Fisichella is pitting for these lot again. Up towards Parabolica. Raikkonen pitting as well. Diniz is side by side with Mark Webber. He's left the door open. He's pushing to the right, trying to make sure Diniz can't overtake Fisichella. Pitting. We don't care about Fisichella pitting. Diniz. This has been his favourite overtaking spot this entire race. Is he going to dive one down the inside? No, he isn't. He's coming up to pass. We don't care about Fisichella. Go! Go! Go run over the iPod man. There we are. Go! Frentzen 3rd. Burti 4th. Away goes Fisichella. Burti's actually in a really strong position in that one, on that one stop. Burti might actually win this race, you know. Down towards. This is, I think that was Diniz. This is Mark Webber. We've got 6 laps to go after this. Diniz is looking particularly racy though. Jaguar ready in the pits. Diniz pitting this lap and with good call as well because they're coming up towards one of the Ferraris. It is probably Rubens Barrichello. They're about to lap the Brazilian, who Ferrari having a torrid time this season. Oh, there's going to be contact. That was very close and dicey. Arrows are ready in the pits as well. Frentzen going in. And a Lazy going in as well. Into the pits for Jaguar goes Pedro Diniz. Is he going to get held up by Frentzen? You'd have thought not. Off the jacks. No, he's actually out ahead of Frentzen. Burti's gone. Past, he's up into 2nd. Diniz is 3rd. Fisichella 4th. There's Burti on his one-stop strategy. Webber has to do everything he can. He's got a 21-second lead over the Brazilian. Brazilian has not won since his Jaguar tease. No driver has won races for 2 teams. Can Burti be the first person to win for 2 different teams? Webber won last season in the Sauber. He had done a perfect race so far, and now it's all up to his pit crew. Webber enters the pits, turning into his pit box. Don't worry about that, that was the Ferrari. Change of all 4 tyres. Front left been incredibly slow. And away goes Webber. It's going to be tight, but I think Burti is doing enough. There's Burti. Off goes the pit limiter for Mark Webber. Where's Burti? There's Burti. Burti takes the race lead of the Italian Grand Prix. But it's going to be a very interesting final 5 laps between Burti and Webber. And don't discount the Jaguar and the Renault yet. They could have a final say in this as well as we enter the final 5 laps of this race. Webber second for Sauber. Third Didders. And fourth Fisichella. De La Rose is currently in 5th. 6th Ralf Schumacher, but Ralf Schumacher's not pitted yet. Frentzen 7th at the moment for Arrows. I don't think Ralf Schumacher has to pit again. I think Ralf Schumacher has done a very clever thing here. He's currently in 6th, a net 6th, and an actual 6th. I don't think Ralf Schumacher even has to stop again. Lazy in a minefield of a battle with the Minardi of Takagi and the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher. Button 13th, Hill 14th, Barrichello 15th. Barrichello can even have a final say in this battle because he's going to be right. They're going to be right close to him by the end of the race, surely. As we look at the walk of shame of all the drivers. Burti leads 21 laps down. Boo, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2 coming up shortly. Webber trying all he can to catch up to the Brazilian in the BAR. Through Ascari. Down, braking towards Parabolica for the 21st time. They're going to 3 laps remaining. I think he's going to catch up to him with 2 laps to go. Down towards the first chicane now. The gap's 1.7 seconds, but Diniz is quite close as well. Delaro's the 5th for Jaguar. Frentzen 7th is on pressure from Raikkonen. Raikkonen always the needy man, never the bride. Alonso 9th. Takagi still involved in that heavy battle with the Ferrari and the Renault. Later trying to recover. Like Schumacher 11th for Lazy 12th. Button 13th. Hill 14th. Jordan's nowhere this season. Barrichello 15th. Burti though still leads. Mark Webber still second. We're heading towards the final couple of laps. Yeah, in 0.7 seconds the gap. Final 2 laps. We are going to have a barnstorm of a finish between the 2 drivers. De La Rosa 5th, Ralf Schumacher 6th place, Frentzen 7th. And Kimi Räikkönen is in 8th. So 2 Saubers, 2 Jaguars, 2 Arrows, a BAR and a Renault, all in the points. No chance really of the other drivers getting close to them. And because I'm a genius, I've already done. I'm going to do the standings before they even come up, so you don't have to see any disappointed faces where I don't talk about the standings. But I'm actually going to talk about the standings. But we are currently looking at the final couple of laps. We have a Webber has caught up to the back of Luciano Burti. There's only really 2 overtaking spots really. If you can send one down the inside here, this is an overtaken spot. Not really close enough. And in the next overtaken spot, you have to have a good exit of Parabolica. And he's not had a good exit off of Parabolica. So I don't think he's going to do anything there to get close to him. He's 3/10 behind. He's got to lunge one down the inside if he's going to do anything. He's not lunged one down the inside, so he's going to have to try and something sneaky, you'd have thought. Otherwise, it's going to be a Luciano Burti victory. Through the chicane. Accelerating out of Ascari. Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. Accelerating now down towards Ascari. We're on board with Luciano Burti, the championship leader. Webber looked down the inside at the corner before Ascari, which is actually Ascari, but you know, we'll just ignore it. Down towards Parabolica. Webber got a fantastic run off of him. Down to Ascari. Is he going to lunge one down the inside of Parabolica? No, he isn't. Burti managed to close the door on Webber. Can he do the under and over? Not really. So, Luciano Burti is going to cross the line to win the Italian Grand Prix by 2/10 of a second. Diniz is 0.8 behind. Fisichella finishes 4th. De La Rosa 5th. Schumacher 6th. Only just. Well, De La Rosa 5th. Ralf Schumacher 6th. And there's a bit of a gap. Ralf Schumacher does it on the 1 stop as well. Frentzen 7th. Räikkönen 8th. They are your final point scorers. So, Burti is on 52 points. Fisichella 2nd with 36. Diniz goes up to 25 points. Alesi's in 4th. Frentzen 5th. Webber is in 6th. Ralf Schumacher climbs up to 7th. Takagi is in 8th with Metakane also in 8th. The rest of the positions stay the same pretty much, apart from De La Rosa's jumped up 2. And Raikkonen's also jumped positions. The constructors, Sauber have overtaken Minardi. And that is pretty much it. BAR and Renault, 7 points between the 2 cars. BAR obviously extending their championship lead thanks to victory. Not been a good day for Ferrari or Jordan. Neither of them teams score points. Same with Minardi. Same with McLaren, Minardi. I don't think I think everyone else scored points. Toyota didn't score points. Burti wins the Italian Grand Prix. Webber 2nd, Diniz 3rd. This is probably going to get a rerun. Because the Italian Grand Prix always seems to get a rerun. I reckon it's going to get a rerun. I'm waiting for someone is going to see something they don't like and they're going to be like, I don't like this, let's rerun this. Always happens with the Italian Grand Prix, so there's no point saying the standings, there's no point seeing all this. It's going to end up being rerun anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this part of the race, because this is going to get rerun. The Italian Grand Prix always does. There's always something wrong with the Italian Grand Prix. Look at all these standings, it's probably not going to matter. I mean, you lucky you even got this in the first place, because the person that actually did the race messed up this race. I'm going to name and shame them. Mr. Admin person, you screwed this race up. You nearly made this not happen. I'm just talking over the stand. I'm not even talking about the standing. I've already said the standings. You don't need to hear the standings again. I don't even know where we're going to next. I don't think the calendar changed from last season. So we're going out to wherever we were last season. Where were we? We were Austria. Oh, Austria! I remember that race. Everyone remembers that race with the arrows colliding into each other. Oh, I can't wait for that to happen again. Thank you so much for watching this race, though. Sorry, it's been a mess at the end. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.